It's a fairly safe bet that most kids taking piano lessons don't like them. That was certainly my experience. I took piano from age 5 to 12 before quitting in frustration. The scales and sheet music and strict teacher just got the best of me. Now, along comes a piano teacher named Payam Khastkhodaei. The 32-year-old son of Iranian immigrants says he's come up with a new method of teaching that has students loving their piano lessons. What makes this near unknown worth a 60-minute story? Well, his students are sweeping national competitions. He's won over a legendary tech innovator and an Oscar-winning composer. They'll both tell you why they've joined his musical revolution. But we think you ought to hear from Payam first.
Piano's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be strict. It's supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be like this very intense instrument you're learning. And we're like, why? Like, why can't it be fun? Why can't we actually enjoy the songs we're learning? Our students don't just learn piano, they love piano. And that's one of the biggest keys to it. Can you play a little bit from right there? Same spot. Now, can you play a little game? Can you show us how you can play without licking? You want to lick up? Yeah, let's look up and play.
In nearly every room of a converted home in the Seattle suburb of Bothell, Washington, Payam and his team of young teachers, all former students of his, are giving piano lessons and having fun.
That was really good. Bum, 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 bum.
Students are charged between $75 and $100 per lesson.
Start from here.
And range from preschool beginners to high school talents. Wow.
High five. Amazing.
Wow. How long have you been practicing that?
I think for 4-ish weeks, maybe.
4 weeks.
In piano, we have this thing called the diploma, which is sort of like the black belt of the musical world. Traditionally, about 1% to 2% of students reach diploma level, and it takes them about 12 years. In our school, 96% reach it, and it takes them about 4 years.
I can hear the traditionalists saying, hold on a minute. It can't be that easy. It can't be that fun. I mean, in order to be a really good pianist, you've got to have discipline. You've got to have hard work. You've got to have rigor. Are they wrong?
I agree and disagree. Of course, nobody will become phenomenal at anything unless they actually put in the time and energy. But when you actually enjoy what you're doing, you don't realize that you're putting in the time for that.
So they love it first.
They love it first. If you learn 1, 3, 5, and if you learn that's just this.
The Payam method begins not with sheet music, but with ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and with actually writing numbers on piano keys.
This is a song I would teach my 3-year-old student that would come into class one day. And we understand this is 1, this is 5. They're not reading notes. They're not even sometimes looking at sheet music. We're playing a game. And it's fun for them because they'll go 1, 2, 3. And then I'll say, good job, let's go 1, 1, 2, 5. And then they'll think and they'll go. And what they're doing is building this coordination.
And using tools they already know, numbers and letters, to learn a new language, the language of music.
For example, I really want to learn Chinese. If somebody put a book in front of me that was in Chinese, my brain would just
lock up.
Exactly, and I have no idea what I'm doing. But if they taught me using a language I know, which is ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, it would make sense. I'd be like, oh, I learned it, and then I'm just mapping it out.
And just as students of Chinese eventually learn Chinese characters, Payam students do shift to sheet music as they move through the 18 levels of his curriculum. How long does it take to go from this to this?
This is our level 2, this is our level 13. This would take about 1.5 to 2 years for students. And during all that time, you're learning songs that you actually enjoy.
The operative word in music is, after all, play. So be playful.
Hans Zimmer has written the musical scores for more than 150 films. He's been nominated for 12 Oscars and won 2, including for his score for The Lion King. But before he was a renowned composer and performer, he was a frustrated music student. You had an unconventional music education.
I had an unconventional education, to say the least. 8 schools asked me to leave. I left with pleasure.
Is that the playfulness, the unconventionality of the education, is that what drew you to Payam and his method?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's exactly what I wish I could have had.
Most of Payam's students don't aspire to be concert pianists.
Bum, 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 bum.
And his playful approach seems to have them loving their lessons. But what really sets him apart is that he's also teaching them to compose their own original songs at very young ages. Delara is just 12.
This is your 3rd composition you've written?
Yeah.
This is your composition?
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. Payam wrote this, his first original song, when he was 9 years old, as a gift for his newborn sister. At age 11, he entered a different original composition into an arts competition sponsored by the National PTA.
The first composition competition I ever entered was the PTA Reflections program, and I won.
So you have students now
Yes, many.
who perform and write for this very same competition.
Exactly.
How have they done?
Phenomenal. The best I ever did in the competition was win 2nd place at state, and I thought that was the biggest achievement in the world. In 2024, we submitted 41 of our students to compete in the Reflections competition. There was 300,000 nationwide. So we made up a very, very small portion of them, but we won 13 out of 15 district winners. We won 5 out of 5 Washington State first place winners. And then those 5 students went on to compete nationally, and 4 of them won 4 of the 14 national medals that were awarded.
Wow.
But play from the pickup note. Bum.
Even when they're learning other people's compositions, Payam's students are encouraged to play around with tempo and style and mood. That is not how I learn piano at all.
Not how I learned it either.
There's a certain way to do it, and you better do it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to change about the musical world.
On day 1, I said, I want to help scale this thing.
Hadi Partovi met Payam when his then 12-year-old son Darius enrolled in piano lessons. So how have you seen... Partovi is the co-founder and CEO of Code.org, a nonprofit that has a free online platform that millions of teachers have used to teach the basics of computer coding to hundreds of millions of kids.
There's a lot of parallels between Payam Music and Code.org. One is we don't teach coding with ones and zeros or, angle brackets and semicolons. We teach it with blocks and dragging and dropping to make it easier. Similarly, Payam Music teaches music starting with ABCs and 1, 2, 3s before you learn the code of how music is written.
So Hadi Partovi is now CEO of Payam Music, with the goal of taking this tiny school, now with just a few hundred students, national. So the plan is to open Payam schools all across the country?
That's correct.
Partovi has raised money to fund the expansion from an impressive list of investors, including film composer Hans Zimmer. What made you decide to not just recognize Payam's method and what he's doing, but to actually invest in it?
To this day, I just remember these piano lessons as being horrible. And here's a man who figured out a way of giving children this opportunity to have absolute happiness, you know, to love music and love themselves.
Zimmer visited Payam's first new location in Santa Monica, California, and listened to star pupils play their compositions, including Hadi Partovi's son, Darius, now 19.
I'd love to hear the piece slightly slower. Just breathe with it more.
With my son, I didn't even realize that he was writing music until one day I was like, oh, whose piece are you playing? And he was like, I'm just making it up as I go. And I was like, what?
Do you have to, or how do you, convince the music establishment, music school instructors, that what you've got here is something special?
Over time, we'll be able to convince the music establishment that this new way of teaching is better. But right now, we just need to convince parents. And the easiest way to convince parents is when they watch their son or daughter fall in love with music.
Best decision I made.
The best decision you made.
The best decision I made.
Yes.
Definitely.
Shahrzad Salistani's daughter, Aili, is 9. Sashwati Sanyal's daughter, Anya, is 15. And Julia Ying's son, Jonathan, is away at college after years of lessons at Payam Music.
It is life-changing for Jonathan
In what way?
in the way that learning could be fun.
So I see my daughter, Anya, to be more confident, and you feel good about yourself. So that is really different about this school.
So they're all having fun.
But they're learning.
But they're learning.
They want to work hard at the piano.
It's contagious.
Give me a high
Wow.
five, dude. Amazing.
Wow. That was fantastic. So to the skeptics, you say,
Try it once and you'll understand.
I'm doing great. We couldn't resist a piano lesson 50 years after my last one. Back up here?
Exactly. Perfect. And then, last one. You did it. That was it. Finished level 2. Amazing.
How about that?
Yeah.
Improvising the classics.
Same song, but you have a different feeling.
Go to 60minutesovertime.com.